All right, welcome back to D&D. So, last time you had ended up in the cave crystals. Kaido relived some of his memories, but was able to snap out of it. You then made your way across the rest of the little islands into the cave system again. You managed to track Sathara before eventually finding the footprints had been replaced with giant footprints that led you to a mushroom village where you discovered that Sathara had been rescued by the mushroom folk of this village. They informed you that they had been cursed by a terrible beast who you discovered was a terrible goose who
You must be
attempted
a
to.
pretty good talking mushroom, Ian, I gotta say.
Well, I'll consider being a giant talking mushroom in the next
Method
life.
acting.
It's
There
your
you
next
go.
D&D character?
We need a custom class for that.
Talking Mushroom Man.
I mean, if you would, there actually are rules for taking NPC races and make them into a PC race. So mushroom person would definitely be viable.
I'm see why not. We should work on that. But sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No worries. You're excited about the game, so that's always a bonus. That's a plus.
We'll punish you later.
I could never punish Fiffle. He's too amusing. Too fiffly. But you managed to deal with the goose. The goose stole all of your things and attempted to put it upon the pile of stuff. You discovered that the goose was from the elemental plane of goose. And you managed to deal with the summoning circle before Val could get dropped through the portal. You then returned to the village, were given a little bit of money, and the mushroom people told you that Sathara was beginning to come out of her kind of dream state after having been affected by the crystals in that cave. So, you are all in the middle of the village, talking with Big Fungus, who, well, talking not quite, as he has sprayed you all with a spore that has allowed you to telepathically communicate with him.
Did we find, I don't remember, did we find out that, can they understand us or only when they use those spores?
You're not sure.
Okay.
You did not discover that one way or another.
Okay. I want to ask him if he can teach me how to make that alcoholic brew.
Ah, yes. You wish to make the wine that we provided your friend?
Yes.
He
What's it
seemed
called?
like... Why, it's just mushroom wine made from the various mushrooms down here, although we used a very special kind of mushroom that seems to cause a more potent response with the people that we serve it to. Your friend seemed like he really enjoyed it. He looks over to Kaido.
Just blows up.
I believe among the surface dwellers that implies that we've made a good wine that is enjoyed.
Yes. Absolutely. It's potent.
Well, what we do here is you take these special mushrooms that have the kind of psychotropic effect, and then you put them, you kind of crush them a little bit, and then you place them into a barrel, and you allow them to ferment. And he just goes on to explain the fermenting process for creating it, discussing how the psychotropic and hallucinogenic properties of the mushrooms mixes with the alcohol that's created. It talks about adding everything that's needed to form a... I mean, you know enough about it that it's not wine per se,
Yeah.
but it is at least an alcoholic beverage.
Right.
One moment, I think car's panic alarm has gone off, and I haven't touched my keys. Excuse me.
Ooh.
I'm gonna write down. Can I just put down like I'm just gonna have the Big Fungus alcohol drink.
Would you like some of our mushrooms? They have to be cultivated in the darkness, but they...
I think we did a history check on the law and they're super outlawed.
I don't remember. It's like it's been a long week.
they certainly create a hallucinogenic effect. We have non-hallucinogenic mushrooms, if you're interested in those. They also produce a very good wine.
Non-hallucinogenic mushrooms? What a waste.
We have these here, and he brings out a mushroom that has a red top dotted with white dots along it.
Ooh,
Jesus.
is that a agaric?
I am not sure the name of it. We call them the red top white spots.
I think that some like that grew near my hometown, and pretty sure I remember a kid got into them and he didn't get back out. If you follow me.
This is not an issue for us, but we understand that it may affect you differently.
So,
We have a variety of mushrooms if you wish to partake.
so based off of what he told us, like on the mushroom thing, do we know of something that wouldn't
Be illegal?
necessarily be illegal, but we could get our hands on, so I can make this wine? Like, I mean, this is mostly for the nature people that were listening on this.
Make a history check to think about the surface laws.
Anybody? wanna
I'll
help me with
assist
this?
you, or I can make the main
I
roll. if you
cannot
want.
help you with that. I apologize.
I think I think I was gonna call you watchmaker. I think Graham should make the main roll on this because
All right, let's roll a 1.
Yeah, I mean, you know enough that where the hallucinogenic mushrooms are illegal, the non-hallucinogenic mushrooms turned into a wine would not be illegal and would, in fact, be used by a variety of, not really popular, but you could see them in a bunch of smaller villages or towns. So those are perfectly legal to serve.
okay. I'm just gonna put this recipe. I'm gonna call it the Big Fungus Alcohol Smash or something. Big Funk. I don't know. Alcohol recipe for now.
Very good.
I will thank him for his generosity and sharing his knowledge.
Would you care for any of my mushrooms? You may look among that which we have in the village.
I could.
We still have the matter of
Yeah.
our esteemed person we're escorting, and
Yes. Well, she will wake shortly. She appears to be stirring from her nightmare, or perhaps dream. If you wish to speak with her and convince her to continue along with you, such is acceptable, and we will provide guides. But if she does not wish to go with you, then by the law of this village, she is under our protection. As are you, of course, and we will allow no violence between any of the parties that dwell down here under our gaze.
It's like when you're playing an MMO game and you just go into like a city and say, "This is a non-combative zone."
well, we can give it a go. I know last time we tried to explain to them her various and sundry crimes, but
Would you care for some mushroom stew while you ponder?
I think I'm all right. But thank you.
I'm good.
I'll eat the stew.
He just kind of got a pot next to him. He just takes a big wooden stirring stick. He sticks it in and just kind of stirs it around. Then he takes like a little. It's a clay bowl, and it's not really well made, but it at least doesn't leak. As he just takes a big hunk and just dumps a bunch of kind of a thin brown liquid into here. There are chunks of mushroom along it, and he hands it over to you to Fiffle.
Reminds me of home.
Fiffle, give me
One
a
shot.
Constitution save, please.
I knew it.
How could this not be nutritious and delicious?
Oh, it's incredibly delicious.
He's gonna hallucinate again. Hold him down.
He's about to morb.
Fiffle, the colors in this area become incredibly vibrant. Time seems to slow down. It seems like everything's moving in slow motion. Uh, you become hyper focused on the words people are saying or on various different things. Everybody else, you see Fiffle kind of just like drinking this and just like kind of staring off, occasionally
Eyes
glancing at
dilated.
others. Yep, eyes very dilated.
Isn't this the same like look he had when he I failed my perception that time we were on guard duty? Would I recognize this look again?
Would that be when he got exposed to the spores and was screaming?
Yeah, we got the tavern named the Screaming Halfling.
Similar to.
I'm just gonna say, yep, he smashed.
Correcto.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
Piffle communes with the earth.
Certainly
Fair warning.
appreciate your
I'm just gonna say,
hospitality
fair
here.
warning. Remember when he screamed last time? That might happen again.
Hey, Fiffle, this is the Earth. How's life? You doing good?
Huh?
You,
You talking to me?
you doing good, Fiffle? It's the Earth. I'm commuting.
Earth is talking to you.
We're commuting,
Man,
Fiffle.
life is real good.
Good.
Real good, man.
Glad to hear it.
Just focus on this too.
Hey, Fiffle, don't tell the rest of them, but you're my favorite.
I know.
Alright, awesome. Good to hear, man. Alright, you take care, guy. I'll be around, quite literally.
If anybody says I'm flat, slap them.
Flat Earthers around the globe are offended.
Well, I guess we can
Yeah, it's.
go say hi to this lady. How we planning on doing this, folks?
Do you have an idea? Because I've been thinking about it and I really don't know.
Well, she's slippery as
Except
all
glare
get
at her
out.
very, very. Do we have the extra magic cuffs so she
Oh.
doesn't try anything?
Graham is gonna ask Big Fungus. He's gonna take out the Carl skin writ of passage and explain to him they met the keeper of the petrified forest and ask him if he knows that treant.
You think I know every treant because I'm a fungus? I'll see how it is. No, he's like, yes, we are familiar with this one. He stays in his side in his petrified forest, and we stay here. But we trade with him occasionally, but he has not need of what we offer.
Mm.
It's been a while since we talked. Didn't she do something to like piss him off too, though? I don't recall. It's been a while.
Theoretically, you explained that she was a grave robber and had linked it to his petrified forest that he's guarding.
Okay, yeah, I just don't remember if he specifically had said
Yeah, if she'd done anything to him on the way through, or if he just wanted us to get her out of the forest.
No, she hadn't done anything to him specifically.
Okay. Oh. All right.
Wow, that's a fine vellum.
Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure it's a guy.
He rolls it back up. You can hold on to it then.
Yeah.
As
Don't
he hands
worry,
it
I'm
back
used
to
this
you.
kind of thing.
Or promise to get her out of here. That was to him.
I believe that says that you have free passage through the petrified woods.
Yep.
But the script is a little poorly written. Treants are not well known for their precise writing capabilities.
All I know is I did not want to get on his bad side.
Well, I've got nothing, and she's probably not gonna want to leave, and I don't want to start a fucking fight with these guys.
Would you care to listen to any of my poetry?
Oh God, yes. Wait, no. Jeremy said
Maybe
yes,
maybe
but-
later. We got to figure out what we're gonna do about this lady and what we're gonna do if she doesn't want to come with us.
Ah, yes.
So we're gonna have to kidnap her out of here.
Most likely, unless she had like a really bad trip and she's just like, "Get me topside, man. Man, the walls are closing in, man."
It's
That's a tactic we could pursue. There is no shortage of stuff to feed her.
How about we feed her some of that stew before she comes to?
Yeah. Can I bring some of the
You
stew
like
with the
my
rest of it?
fry?
Because it's really delicious.
Trying to make her have a bad trip so she'll surrender into custody willingly.
Out of character, yes. I think you would also pick that up in character, right?
Are we the baddies?
Am I the problem?
No, we're just unique at problem solving.
The stew, season the stew with some of the red and white ones. Tell her it's delicious and nutritious and won't make her trip balls at all. And then we make scary faces at her when she starts tripping balls.
You guys fed her? It's like I don't know if he knows about like maybe you should feed her some stew so she has.
Piffle's pretty sure his plan is perfect.
I should remind each of you all we're communicating telepathically with each other.
Well, mine was out of character, but I was just like,
Yeah.
maybe stew.
Yeah. Graham is just trying to think of a way to convince them that like this lady's bad news.
Fern, you notice a small mushroom-covered creature comes up to you and kind of like rests against your leg.
Okay. I will look at it. What is it?
It looks sort of like a pig that has been taken over by mushrooms.
Oh god, it's like a truffle hog.
Oh,
Literally.
oh. What
Temporary.
what is this big fungus? What's
Oh.
happened to this pig?
Oh, we cultivate them down here. We raise them. They provide us their mushroom milk, and then we return them to the earth when they pass on.
Mushroom milk. Okay.
Would you care for a glass of it?
No, thank you.
They're quite fun. We keep them as pets as well. That one we
Okay.
call Mushroom.
Oh, okay. What are some other names?
Yeah. Well, my question is, what if you have two of them at the same time? Is it mushroom one, mushroom two?
No, I just called that one Mushroom. We also have a Room Mush.
Gus. Fun.
We have a Jerathan.
Silabison. What?
And Kellum Brimbor.
Okay, interesting names.
Why do we know that last name?
I believe that is a Lord of the Rings reference.
It is
yes.
indeed, yes.
That is the guy who forged the One Ring.
For a second, I was like, wait a minute.
They're very friendly. Mushroom there seems to have taken a liking to you.
I see that.
Friendly mushrooms.
Legend has a mushroom screaming, "Save me!"
He'll
I pat mushroom.
Mushroom is soft. He appears to be covered in a layer of not only the mushroom but moss underneath as well.
Fern, make it a Constitution save.
Interesting.
No, you don't need to in this case.
I'm not eating mushroom.
Make a Constitution save for the poison.
Mushroom just makes a little.
Okay.
You have a
Is
little
it just
mushroom friend now? Is it?
It's like a little mushroom pig.
It's adorable.
mm.
Pretty
Some
good.
refer to the mushroom pigs as Migs.
Some, huh?
They're an excellent intercept aircraft.
The fuck is going on?
I don't know. But
I don't know.
I'm making you guys
Uh,
all weirded out because this is Mushroom
We're
Village.
making small talk with a weird mushroom society.
feel
while
like
we're trying to figure
I-
out how we're gonna extradite this
Like,
lady. while
I'm
she's
tripping.
fucking
I guess we
diplomatic
should
immunity.
go try to talk to her when she wakes up. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically that or violence if we can't convince them, and I'd really rather not.
You could speak to her now, if you wish. The door is directly. And he points, and there's a door to the cabin right behind him.
let's just get this over with. We can get to the point.
Yeah. Much for it.
Let's go talk to her. See what she thinks about mushroom life, I guess.
Okay. One of the mushroom people arrive, and they just kind of open the door for you. Inside, it is dark, but from the light flowing in, you can see very sparse. There's a small table, a couple of chairs, They look to be built more for mushroom people. There is a small little kind of makeshift bed in one of the sides of the room, and you can see Sathara is sitting on this bed, kind of like clutching her knees to her chest.
Howdy.
She looks up at you, eyes still a little glassy. Ugh.
Well,
Hey, Sakara.
How'd that work out for you?
Are these mushrooms great?
I got to see my family again, she just kind of whispers.
yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, so did I. Based off of what we went through, can we tell she failed her wisdom check really badly?
Looks like she was affected by the crystal cave pretty
Want
aggressively.
to sass her real good. Here's a question. How does Graham know? Maybe I could roll history. Like how inflexible the law is on like we know she's going to get executed for her crimes if we bring her back. At least that was my understanding. Could we argue for clemency? Like, okay, don't kill her. If you cooperate with us, like we'll argue on your behalf. That kind of thing.
Make a history check.
I will try. Nice.
All right, Graham. Based off of a bit of knowledge you've gained from the whole issue with Lucian and the Count and the Count's manor, you would know that she was accused of murdering a member of the Order of the Yard, but she was tried without being there, as she had managed to successfully escape. You could see if perhaps you could put it in a bit of like ask that she be retried in order to see if she would be found guilty. If she is found innocent, then she would just have to serve her initial sentence on the rock. If she's found guilty, then she would need to be executed. Or you would say that the initial sentence would be upheld.
Okay. So level with me, as long as we're having a nice little break between you trying to escape and us trying to catch you and one of us trying to kill the other. You kill the guy?
I didn't mean to. It was an accident. I just wanted to get off that boat. Look, just leave me down here. I don't want to die.
If you're willing to work with us, we can move for a retrial on your behalf.
Look,
Based off of that history check, what are the odds of getting that retrial and maybe getting clemency off of an accident?
you suspect you'd have a good chance of being able to get the retrial. As for the clemency itself, that one you're not sure about.
Yeah. I don't know if we could get him to argue for a lightened sentence if they found you guilty, but we could get them to agree to a retrial. And if nothing else, if there's extenuating circumstances, I'll vouch to those.
Can you just
And, if they are going to kill you, we'll spring you after we have the bounty.
look? Can you just let me go? I don't know what the bounty is, but I'll double it.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have the money now, but I can get it to you.
Fortunately, I got my own duties, and robbing graves is something I got to deal with one way or the other.
No, I'm out of Viderheim. I do have friends on another country. You never hear from me again, except for I'd send you the money. That's the last you'd ever hear from me.
Everybody says they'll send us the money.
Ain't wrong. Would it make you feel any better if I told you we managed to get the most unliked son of a bitch acquitted of a murder he didn't commit on our way through here? You were there. You know we can figure
very
these things
convinced.
out.
But then he went to prison.
Yeah, for other shit that he did. Listen,
Graham, make a
But we're very
persuasion
convinced.
check.
We have
Yeah,
so
that's
many
true though.
mushrooms.
He's going to prison, but he's not getting his head cut off in front of
listen, the way
everybody.
I see it, you might be all right down here. You might not. And if you can't leave without getting got again, this is just another prison with weird underground tenders.
Graham, make a.
Damn.
Oh, right.
I think we
Unless you're gonna join
Graham is
Mushroom
rolling the
Session.
rest of the day. I think
Okay.
everybody agrees.
She just gives a
It'll
heavy
burn out soon
sigh.
enough.
I'll come with you.
Thank you kindly.
Her eyes are still a little glassed over. She just seems a bit sort of out of it, but she just kind of gets up and just walks and kind of hangs out among the rest of the group.
Nice.
As we walk out,
Press X to break the spirit of an escaped convict.
Piffle kind of nudges her as we walk out. He's like, "Don't worry, Cesaro. I'll make sure you don't get the axe."
Thank you, Fiffle.
Man,
After I
No.
save your life, just remember your old friend Piffle. That's all.
would Graham have the authority to do like a religious conversion / penance thing if she agreed to like become an acolyte of Eidos or something?
Yeah, Graham would need to roll for that to say that he would in fact have the authority as a cleric of Eidos, especially with the religion itself being so small.
Graham will lay this out as a possible avenue of approach for her to get her sentence commuted to something way less shoulder lightening.
That's true, but I think also Gale is the one that's set to execute her, and you would have to convince him too.
Graham, you would know enough that if she committed the crime both against Viderheim itself as well as in Vaxval, so you would have to go to
Probably the Duke.
the Duke and the Count of Vaxval, who, funny enough, is the Duke.
Kaido is gonna have some more mushroom wine
Okay.
and is
Big-
gonna go MIA.
I'm gonna make sure
Big
that
fungus
he only
hands-
sips it. He doesn't like down it, so he doesn't.
There you go.
Big Fungus hands over a big glass of the mushroom wine filled right to the top.
Big
You-
gulp full of hallucinogenic alcohol. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Could we make sure we take a lot of this stuff with us?
I can pack up some wine skins for you if you would like.
That would
That would
be
be very kind. Big
And
fungus.
thank you again for your assistance down here. Is there anything we could help you out with?
Well, we are a small village. Do you have any... We have given you gifts. If you have any gifts for us, we would gladly accept them. I would also say we have been encountering issues with the Shaper. If you could ever... I don't know where they would be, but if you ever deal with the Shaper, it would be a great benefit for us.
Did
What's
we
the
roll on the
Prior
Shaper
to
or
this, did
talk
we hear about the Shaper?
Shaper?
I'm trying to remember. I'm
Yeah, we're all trying to remember last session.
You actually heard about the Shaper first when you sprang Kaido from the slavers. The Shaper had sent in a few people in order to buy a group of slaves.
okay.
Right.
And then you had heard about him when they mentioned the spy bolts.
Best of luck, friends. I gotta go.
Yep.
care,
Rom,
dude.
Kaido drinks the hallucinogenic wine, and you just see his eyes go as wide as you've ever seen him before.
Well, there he
That's
goes.
actually a good play. It was like he's just nursing it the whole way out.
I don't
No, he just
understand.
does
That was
big-
non-alcoholic.
Big gulp as he just...
Said nurse it.
Kaido is in no position to hear what you said, Otto.
Well, there he goes.
Cool.
All right.
Bye.
Here we go again.
Bye-bye.
God, I hate that guy so fucking much.
Oh, poor Rami. Alright. Yes, Kaido is currently quite enamored with his hallucinogenic wine.
He's in a
Fair.
state of stupor.
Fair and
So
reasonable.
what were we? Oh, the Shaper.
Mm.
Do you have any information about him? Like we've heard bits and pieces here and there, but not like a full story.
The Shaper, we're not sure. We simply trade stories when we send out our traders, but the Shaper himself, or their self, as we know nothing of them, is a rising power in the Underdark. They have begun creating new creatures. The Spybolds you have seen, gray orcs, the Orkneus, as well as other creatures we have heard about, but only through rumor.
Let's see.
Would that bat thing that came back for what's his face?
Oh, Flaps.
Titles of
Yeah.
yeah, for Flaps.
We have
Bat
seen
Sasquatch.
the large bat creature.
Is that one of the Shaper's creations?
Possibly. It's been here a while, but it may be an early creation of his.
Wait, did Fern say Bat Squatch?
Bat Squatch?
Bat Squatch.
There's just a blurry photo of it in the woods.
You can see a watch on its wrist.
I was thinking of that one boss from.
The Rival.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not familiar with that one.
You aren't, but it's called Bat Squatch.
Ah. Well, I love it.
That's why I thought she said Bat Squatch. I'm like, wait, did you just call something from another world? Yeah, we can keep an eye out or an ear open and ask about that, I guess.
Very well. But the Shaper is located further in the Underdark.
Okay. Do you guys have a way to communicate with the surface world?
We do not like the sunlight. It is distressing for us. We've adapted to living below the ground.
But if, say, you needed to contact us, would you be able to find a way to?
Yes, I suppose. We deal with trading of dwarven miners who skirt between the surface and their underground mines. We could get a message to them and then to you, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe we could open up a little trade route.
Right, and then,
Interesting proposal, but we are content with our current trade. We want for nothing. All here in the village have what they need. We have a bit of treasure for the occasional trade we need to do, but we mostly just give and receive gifts and are happy. It is peaceful down here.
Society is too utopian. If he keeps going on, Piffle's gonna end up just joining them and leaving.
Well,
just keep giving me the stew and the wine, and I'll stay here.
Well, I think he knows where the crossblade. So if you ever need us,
we have not heard of crossblades.
I thought we told him.
They're a bunch of people that live under the ground.
We are aware you are part of a group known as the Crossblades, but
Correct.
there is some history we are not familiar with.
Right. Well, if you need us, if the dwarves or anyone, we're in Bagswall.
Ah, very good. Yes. If we have any further information, if you do wish to venture further into the Underdark, you may do so. We have a guide who can take you down that way, but if you would wish to return to the surface, our guide can bring you to the surface world as well. Not all the way, but close enough.
How do we know how close we are to Vaxfall? Or have we been underground so long we don't know?
You are not sure, and your communication with Big Fungus has shown that their knowledge of the surface world is incredibly limited.
Yeah. Okay.
They're pretty sure it
Let's get back to the
exists.
surface, so we can see where we are, or hopefully.
I got one other thought, and it's a bit of an ask for everyone involved. Kind of looks over at Sathara. Suppose we went after this Shaper as an up and coming threat to the world, and we know he is. We busted up some slave taking not too long ago. Keep taking people from the surface. Maybe we could get you some time off for good behavior if you helped us out with it.
Sure, I'd help out. Anything
I'm gonna
to
insight that just to see if I can get a read.
go ahead, roll insight.
Now I'll get a 1. Oh, close.
Perfectly on.
I would
It's-
like to insight that also.
Go ahead, Otto.
Piffle
Take the
doesn't
mental
try, he
overload.
leaves it.
Okay.
Nice.
Graham, you're having a tough time. It's a little bit difficult because she's a little shaky after her exposure to the crystals. Otto, however, you get the idea. No, she is telling the truth. Whatever she experienced in that cave has at least altered her behavior for the time being, and she seems more defeated.
Piffle trusts Zathara completely. She appears to act out of rational self-interest.
I will
Yes.
relay to Graham. I will take her word for it at this point.
All right. Well, what do you think, gang? We've already been away from home this long. We're relatively well stocked. We know some safe places we can turn tail and run back to.
If we can get a rest here, I don't mind.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yes, if you would like to rest in our village.
Long
You
rest
may
with the
do.
mushrooms, and we're going after the Shaper. Is that the...
Yeah.
If you're all amenable to it, I think that would be a good path forward so everybody gets what they want.
Side quest?
Very good. The Shaper, as far as we have heard, is farther into the Underdark. We do not know his precise location, but if you traveled to one of the various undercities here, we could hopefully get information down that way.
I reckon that's a good idea.
And by me, I am sorry. We are commune as one. You specifically. We would not be able to join you. And by we, I mean thus of the village here.
Well, let's see what we can do.
It is understandable.
We can take you to one of the trade locations. And then from there, it would be a travel to, I believe the closest city is a drow city.
Cute.
I reckon for now we can take a load off and maybe I can tell you some stories about the surface.
Yes, that would be exciting. We very, very rarely reach surface dwellers, so this is an excellent opportunity. What do you have? Please sit by the fire, rest, and tell me.
Cultural exchange.
Graham is gonna tell stories about Eidos and his own past and his duty as somebody astride both worlds to tend to and protect the spirits of the dead, so that in turn protects the lives of the living.
That's fascinating. We're actually able to spread our spores onto corpses to reanimate them, but no spirit or soul dwells among them. It is simply the spores taking effect. But it seems somewhat similar to what you are also capable of. Yes. Similarities between surface and underrealm. Very exciting. What other stories do you have? I eager to hear. He looks around. He looks to
Everybody tell a story. We're bonding.
Fern. You young creature. I am not familiar with you. I have heard of rabbits upon the surface realm. Are you of this rabbit that I am told of?
Kind of, but not really.
Amazing.
Have you heard of the Feywild?
No.
Oh, well, that's where I'm from.
Interesting. That is an even more overrealm?
It's kind of like a parallel to the Overrealm.
Fascinating.
It's like a separate dimension.
Interesting.
Yes.
We know of below and above, but to parallel, yes, an interesting concept. We will think about this. Our mushroom philosophers can dwell upon this idea.
Yeah, so mushroom philosophers? That's pretty cool.
Do you think that there is a under realm, Fey realm?
I hope not. Well, no
Fey-
offense, but
Could be, I don't know.
Interesting. A parallel to our village below, among their parallel realm, and most interesting thought.
I mean, I can't even deny that. That's actually pretty interesting.
that would be metal. Horrifying, but metal. like Feywild Underdark creatures.
We're giving the DM way too many ideas on this.
Mind Flayer, but it's got like ivy vines instead of the tentacles.
This is a thought that I will ponder upon.
Mushrooms
Please.
with fairy wings.
Mushroom dystopia.
Yes.
Mushroom Dystopia sounds like an excellent band name. We are
My moments.
Mushroom Dystopia. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Make a history check, Graham.
Eh.
Graham, there is a bard group named Mushroom Dystopia, not from Viderheim, but from the initial country you're from.
Huh.
I'm also going to interject with they played at my tavern.
They played at Otter's Tavern.
Nice.
They did a kind of like fusion between like bardic song and more like throat singing.
That sounds awesome, actually.
It was amazing because all the attendees got inspiration.
Yeah, they all got. Everyone did something really, really good for once. A little
One more
afterwards.
everybody did. Everyone's pickup lines worked that day.
Bro, I was making like breakfast pie. I made a really fucking good breakfast pie, man.
One time.
The best breakfast pie that ever breakfast fried.
These are exciting stories you have told. Do you have any others you wish to share? I am interested in your overrealm. If it were not for the sun being so difficult for us, I would like to visit one day.
Maybe we could magically figure something out for that someday.
Yes. Or do you have, I believe you would call it, an umbrella to protect from the sun?
It's not a bad idea. I ain't got one, but I've got blankets and tarps and whatnot that would do the same thing.
Fascinating. Yes. Maybe one day. As
What if you go out at night?
Yes. Wait. What is this night you speak of?
It's when it's dark outside.
Yes.
Roll for sun lore.
The sun
you-
goes down for like a certain period during the day. And the moon goes out.
Interesting. We are not familiar with this night. The sun, where does it go? Into a cave?
It oh god, Otto's gonna go into astronomy. Let's just put it that way.
Is Viderheim north enough that they have like the 30-day winter?
Yeah. They
Or the
it's
30-day night rather.
Yep, they not the southern Viderheim by Voxfall does not, but it does have the very long nights. As you went further north, you would definitely reach points where it would be you'd get maybe an hour at most of daylight.
Grammel mentioned that based on the time of year, there might be times when there's enough
Yeah, you can
darkness.
interject
that
with
they
my
could visit
astronomy
the
lesson.
surface.
I'm gonna give 'em. Because I'm absolutely doing that.
There's I don't even know what astronomy would be under. I guess just general intelligence roll auto?
I don't
Unless
know.
you can think of a skill that it could attune like or affix to.
Would it be?
Perform bagpipe.
What's the wisdom also entail? Because I feel like
That's like street knowledge. Intelligence is like book learning.
yeah, I guess. I'll just do straight. Can I actually get my guidance for this so I can just make myself China?
Yeah. Is you're like basically thinking like, how do I explain this to
Yeah, I want to dumb it
mushrooms?
down. Let me do my D4.
Okay. All right. You give a very accurate, as far as you're aware, explanation of how, like, the sun, stars, the moon all works, and how they move, the constellations, like a very complex discussion. As this goes on, the telepathic communication begins to wane until Big Fungus kind of like shoots out more spores, and just like the telepath telepathic communication instantly reconnects.
And that is how there's nighttime.
I understand completely. It is excellent to hear that there is no permanent sun. And that we could visit while it is the night. This is fascinating. I am going to ponder on all these things you have brought to me, for they have expanded my mind greatly. I will share this with the rest of my village.
There's a lot of mind expanding going on down here.
Would you care for some mushroom wine?
Hell yeah, says Biffle.
No, thank you.
Very well, Rabbit Girl.
We're staying a minute.
We also have stew. A mushroom stew. We have our mig milk. Anything you wish to partake of, please enjoy it while you are the guests of our village.
Could I have some mushrooms to make a stew with myself?
Of course. He
Biffle's
brings...
casually partaking until the team drags away.
Yeah, Fiffle very...
Several days after this.
Take the psychedelic one so that you can get Kaido high again. Later.
Kaido is just nursing, like, after he's had that big gulp, he's been just, like, constantly drinking the, He is, like, in a phase you've never seen him before. Even more gone than the Crystal Cavern.
I'm a little impressed, I'm not gonna lie.
I think
He's knocked out.
I think his mind has left and the body simply moves of its own accord. How exciting. I cannot sense any thoughts among his mind.
Got a blank space where mine should be.
And like, to be honest, that's most of the time though.
Ah.
Oh,
Rab-
what time?
So Sathara, what's your story?
Notice the star's been kind of quiet. My story? I had a family. They died. I didn't have any money, so I turned to thievery to survive. Not much to it. They got killed by pirates.
Wait, the Pirate King guy?
Yeah. Yeah, this was a few years ago. He wouldn't have been the leader of all the pirates out of Pearl Island. He would have been an up-and-coming pirate. And my family was a group of merchants. And they just ran a boat from the coastline. And they had the unfortunate just being caught by them.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, yeah. And anyway, family fortune dried up pretty quick after that. I was 12 at the time. Didn't have a lot of ways to, put any food in my stomach, so I went to a local graveyard, pulled some funds, some of the treasures from it, was able to pay my way along there, and just kind of fell into the whole thing. I didn't try to hurt anybody. I mean, tried to be sneaky, just got caught, sent to the rock, escaped, and when I was trying to make my way out, one of the Order of the Yard members tried to stop me. I pushed him. I wasn't expecting him to fall overboard, but that's what happened.
Mm.
We're getting a redemption arc here.
Well, maybe.
Might be up to you guys.
Rehabilitate this criminal.
Would you actually consider not being a criminal if you managed to get out of that?
Yeah. Problem is, I'm not I'm a criminal. I'm known as a grave robber, so it's not like I can get honest work here in Viderheim. That's why I wanted to get out of Viderheim, start anew somewhere else. Maybe be a merchant.
job?
Yeah, what are you paying? I'll take anything these days.
Wait, what? Who said
Well,
what?
if you remember, the company, I believe, gets a 5% share of the hauling or something like that.
Well, we might be able to find a use for you. We're obviously out and about a lot. We're fairly capable. We got some goings on in Viderheim.
You gotta start in the stables.
Yeah, Graham is like shaking his head, like, no, you don't have to. He's like going. He just lets him go though.
I got some contacts. Got contacts among the Penny Rats, the Iron Masters, all sorts of people who can help. I even got some contacts among the merchants.
That could all be pretty helpful.
But
You're
I
a
mean,
resourceful woman. There's no mistaking that.
yeah.
And as I always say, what's a little grave robbing between friends? Right,
Well,
Graham?
it's a lot
Kind of
actually. With, the ravenous dead rising up to take their vengeance on the living. But here's the thing: I'm actually qualified, eminently qualified, as it were, to manage atonement for that and help you square things up with the other side.
The real problem is I'm still cursed, and I'm gonna be cursed until I die. So.
Well, maybe not.
Remove curse.
The probably the curse from the
Ring.
culty coin.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we can suppress it if nothing else, and I'd be willing to do that. Probably helps us as much as you. And when we get back to civilization, we can look into getting it lifted more permanently.
Well, could probably find somebody who can lift it permanently. It's gonna have to be one hell of a cleric, though. But until then, yeah, it's gonna be a bit rough here for us.
Well,
We can make do. Made it this far, despite our best efforts sometimes.
I just want to say, this is out of character. It's like, are we literally just planning like her recruitment already?
I mean,
That's all I gotta say.
If she plays ball, like
It also depends on the roles.
she's crafty. It sounds like she got hard done by. Graham's a bit of a softie.
I wasn't expecting it, everyone, but I mean, it looks like it's leading that way.
I'm just trying real hard not to murder more things than we have to. I had too many games like
No,
that.
I had an idea what I was gonna do, but you actually managed me not to do what I wanted to do. So
Hooray.
congratulations, Graham.
It pays off sometimes.
But Big Fungus continues on. Yeah, it seems like you've had all a difficult time. Would you care for a rest here in our village? We will keep you as safe as we can. No one really comes this way. We have not much for them to take. And we can, if pushed to it, defend ourselves.
Well, thank you kindly.
You are quite welcome. Thank you for your stories. They were insightful.
I propose we take a long rest and still take shifts just in case.
All right. Sure. Let me see here. I have to. I'll just hit fucking long rest.
We've got Kaido looking out for threats from the astral plane.
Kaido's just on his back, just
Is he gonna
looking
get a
up.
long rest? So, or should I not hit the button for him?
Kaido will get the effect of a long
He's
rest,
probably gonna
yes.
have the longest rest of us all.
All right, I'm just gonna hit it because.
Okay.
Okay, I just hit his long rest because I just don't want to remember it later with his effed up sheet. Also, since his last name is Shoma, it should be Shruma at this point.
Kaido Shruma.
You just hear the faint whisper from Kaido. We're all inside the mushroom. We are
You
the
got it,
mushroom.
I
Made
believe
men
you.
by the mushroom.
Graham,
Die by the mushroom.
we're made of mushrooms. Little
You
tiny
cannot kill me in any way that matters.
Graham, you don't understand. We're made of small, indivisible things that are made of even smaller things. Microscopic. We can't see them. If you split them, they'll create an explosion. and he just kind of like
You
trails
got
off.
it, buddy.
You should lay it down, Kaido.
If you can enrich a glowing rock, you can become a powerful sorcerer.
Well, that one I knew. Relatedly, Sathara, where'd you learn to cast? Because you're pretty good at it.
He picked up a few here or there. Fell in with some thieves who needed, well, basically someone like a kid who can be a lookout and has small hands for picking little locks. So I learned from them, and they had a wizard with them, so I learned a little bit of magic from him. Not a ton, but enough to get by.
Done pretty well for you so far.
Yeah, sorta.
Sorta. Hey, it can only go up from here.
I believe your plan is to go down, so I'm gonna disagree with you on that one.
Fair play.
It's like, hang on, Otto's gonna go phrasing.
Are we not doing phrasing anymore?
I know some wizard spells. Can pick a lock real good. I'm pretty sneaky. Good at planning. And I gotta say, after my typical profession, I'm pretty good with a shovel.
Likewise, from the other side of that equation.
I don't care. I just snickered.
Shovel buddies.
And if, worst comes to worst, I'm good with a knife, good with a bow.
All
Don't-
useful
It's
stuff.
like speed dating. D&D edition.
You've had a hard go of it, and maybe this will be the first step on turning that around.
Well, maybe. I mean, gotta be honest, you're probably the first people who've ever been nice to me in a while, so.
I can relate to that.
Except for Big Fungus, who saved my life from the Crystal Cave.
Pretty decent sword, him.
I never met a mushroom man I didn't like. I mean, he's also
Not
the
one.
first, so. Yeah, you real sure about going down into the Underdark? I mean, it's been weird enough, and I hear a tale that it gets weirder the further down you go.
That lines up with what I know about it, but
When the going gets weird, the weird turn pro.
What?
I'm not sure what that means, but what he said.
I'll trust you on that one.
It's a colorful life we lead doing this guild business. And if nothing else, you got the motley skill set for it.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When I was a kid, growing up, I always heard about the Crossblades and about the whole history, and I had a big set of books all about you. Not you specifically, but your guild.
Mhm.
And I always thought it was real neat, and I kind of always wanted to be a member of the Crossblades. So, of course, then my parents told me that you died out like 70 years ago. But I gotta say, this is probably the weirdest way my dream has ever come true.
Yeah, we're like that.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest with you.
To be
Oh,
fair,
don't think about
the jury's still out on that.
Yeah, if I come out of this not dead, I guess,
It was all
Good
worth
thing.
it, yeah.
Hey, maybe I hear Crossblade's got other they got other branches in other countries. Maybe I could just go work for one of them.
What? Branches?
Yeah, like it was a whole worldwide like collection of guild halls. Like I know the one in Viderheim's the
Sound
first.
like unauthorized franchises, Graham.
We need to talk to Carter.
Piffle starts making notes.
Fitful, and actually everybody, you started in a non-Viderheim Crossblades guild hall.
Yeah, but
That was
Hey.
session 1.
I know, but it was I can't remember what it was. It was they're dying out. I thought with like the whole general guild.
Yeah,
Was it-
yeah, it wasn't doing so hot. Fiffle, this is not Acquisitions Incorporated. There's no franchising.
Somebody owes us licensing fees, guys.
Technically, I think you owe them licensing fees.
Yeah, that's definitely wrong. I think we can make a strong argument that we're the original Crossblades and they owe us fees.
But
But,
yeah,
we'll get there. We'll get
I heard there's guild halls in City of Arwell, in Zadora. Like, heck, I think even the princes got some in the archipelago there.
Hmm.
Last I heard, but
This is how the sequel to this campaign began.
please, if I wanted to sequel this, I already have plenty of ideas. Each of them more brutal and horrifying than you could ever possibly imagine. Except for Matt, who knows me too well.
I mean, I'm not even surprised anymore.
Well, anyway, please rest up, and I have a guide who will take you further, or wherever you desire to go for the time being. I must rest myself. And Big Fungus just kind of like, you just see him nod off and kind of remain perfectly still. He sort of looks in sleep almost just like a big mushroom that's difficult to tell that is also a person that is a mushroom.
Makes sense.
His Mig mushroom just kind of curls up next to him. The other mushroom folk show you the inside of the little yurt they made, the little hut there. It's like, there is bedding that you can use, a table, a chair, a candle, and a latrine out back if you need it. Good night, as you surface dwellers say. We simply say, good rest. Well,
Good rest.
good rest.
Good rest.
So who's taking first watch?
I can.
Okay. Otto by himself.
He's probably not going to sleep. He ate the stew.
Fiffle and Otto. Okay. Alright, Fiffle, Otto, one of you go ahead and just roll your perception. It is light enough in this mushroom village, as the lights never really seem to turn off as they come from the glowing mushrooms. So just go ahead and roll a perception check at advantage. Alright.
It's a good, no matter what, it's a good one.
You don't really see much going on. Most of the mushrooms do begin to go to rest. You see a couple of the ones armed with spears just kind of mulling around the village. A few of the MiGs are just kind of snuffling about. A couple of them are digging up like little mushrooms that are buried. But the shift just goes, and you don't notice anything really weird. You know, beyond what to expect from Mushroom Village, of course.
Hmm.
But yes, your shift is over without incident. Otto and Fiffle then wake up the next shift, who comprised of
I could do it.
Fern and
Only like two of us, so.
How long have I been muted, and why am I muted? I don't.
Oh,
think
I'm
was
sorry, I
muted.
didn't realize you were muted.
Yeah, I was trying to volunteer for first shift, and like, oh, huh.
No, we weren't ignoring you. Don't worry.
No, yeah.
Fern and Graham, then?
I was actually gonna suggest maybe Graham and Sathara.
Oh, okay.
A, because he can just kind of sit up with her and talk some more, like hash out their plans and shit. And B, being mercenary about it, if she tries to do a runner again, then she doesn't get a long rest either.
Okay. Graham and Sathara.
The
Okay.
Graham and Safara love story starts.
Graham,
God.
go ahead. I'm not. I did not build Sathara to do this.
To be a waifu? Yeah. Damn.
You can roll with advantage because it is glowy
right.
enough in this village.
Nice.
Graham, you notice Sathara doesn't, attempt to run. She seems content with simply taking watch. You don't let her leave your sight, but she doesn't attempt to get out of your sight either.
Cool. Graham will kind of lay out what a day in the life of the Crossblades is like when they're talking quietly.
Sounds interesting. I mean,
Certainly has been interesting.
well, I like the gold you all find. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it does help the hard stuff go down a little easier.
All fun and games until Kaido uses the money and
A bit dangerous, don't you think?
Yeah, but at least we're
we're going to
well,
hell.
we're able to walk around without having to keep looking over our shoulder and keep an eye out for the law.
Out of character. Yeah, did you tell her about Drindir yet?
No,
Yeah, that's troublesome.
not yet.
A lot of things to be worried about. Yeah, I hear the Count in Drindir is starting something.
I don't like it one bit. I think he might be gearing up for some kind of military push.
Maybe. I've actually heard quite a few rumors.
I know the guy's a son of a bitch.
Yeah, that sounds tracks with what I've heard of him. Now, I was thinking of me personally. Well, I was originally gonna head out of Viderheim to the archipelago, work for one of the princes there, but I heard they started dealing with soul coins, and it's not really something I want to partake in.
Yeah.
Soul coins, you say?
Oh, sorry. It's so one of the you know about the princes, right? They kind of they own each their own separate island. They kind of fight for the control of the archipelago. Well, here one of the princes got overthrown by somebody who probably worships fiends because he's been dealing with soul coins. So they basically trap a soul in a coin, and then they that's how like fiends do it. Is what I hear.
That, or whatever.
Like I'll do a lot, but I'm not gonna take any of that. Not touching that trade.
Wise of you.
It's yeah. I have some scruples.
Enough to get by.
I mean, personally, I just don't think the dead really need all that gold they've got buried with them.
Graham will spend their watch kind of explaining some of the stuff, like the spiritual architecture and infrastructure that underpins life in ways that most people don't know or see, and what happens when that gets out of whack.
Graham, go ahead and roll a religion.
Not the worst, not the best.
Just say yes, Dad.
Trying to explain it to her, Sathara, you get the feeling she maybe was not the most religious person, so it's like very new to her.
Yeah, makes sense.
But she
Grant
seems
takes
receptive
patience.
to it, at least.
Unlike Kaido. Tell her about your 1,000 candles.
Yeah, so I was like, and how many candles did you purchase?
A lot.
Well, I guess if you need them.
One of them is still in what kind of spider was that?
The giant
Spider?
trap.
The ones that
The
threw
giant trapdoor spider.
Oh, right, yeah. That little bastard.
Oh yeah, those things. Yeah, I can see in the dark, so I didn't really need a candle, but I definitely saw him around, so I tried to sneak around without, and I didn't get caught because I didn't get eaten by one, but.
That guy did.
And I gotta tell you, sliding down that incline was a hell of a thing.
Yeah, we were. I was kind of impressed, honestly.
Don't be. I took a bit of a tumble at the last bit down there.
Any landing you can limp away from.
Yes, for sure.
We were attacked by centipedes.
Yeah, little bitey bastards.
And then I snuck by the bats without too much trouble. Honestly, I thought it was home free once I got to the Crystal Cave until, you started remembering your family. I thought for sure I had seen them coming back from the last trip they had made. That's what the memory said. That's what the cave said, that they came back, they got attacked by pirates, but they managed to escape.
Yeah, that's rough. I got to revisit my hometown, which wasn't the kindest to me. Turns out when you can see ghosts, people think you're a little touched in the head.
Why? There's ghosts. I haven't seen any, but we know they're around.
Yeah. Well, you have to understand, the people where I come from, they're the real salt of the earth type folks.
Morons, got it.
Morons, yeah, they're morons.
Yeah, don't gotta explain it to me. At this point, the shift ends, and nothing has occurred that you've seen. It's been very quiet as you've just been discussing with Sathara. You've just seen a couple of the mushroom folk mulling around. Two of the Migs you have noticed play with each other, kind of just butting heads before eventually. It's a weird kind of play where they like butt heads and then they stop and scratch for a while and then they butt heads again, and there's some sort of scratch etiquette that you've noticed. But shift passes without incident, and it is time for third shift. Who is on third shift?
Me.
Fern? Oh, and did you want to summon Aurora back to you during the long rest?
Yes.
Okay. Fern, while everyone's been taking their shift and you've been focusing on summoning back Aurora, as Graham comes to collect you, you have successfully been able to summon Aurora back to your side. You notice the familiar wolf form of Aurora.
Retrieve, doggo.
Yay, Aurora's back.
You see the tail wag. The color shifts. You see the kind of pattern on Aurora very quickly and suddenly shift as she sees you again for the first time in quite a while.
Yay, Fred's gonna hug Aurora.
Aurora wags her tail aggressively. She pokes you with her wet nose, very cold, very damp. It is a sign of affection.
I don't think that's Buddy.
Aurora does. You also notice she does like the little tippy taps.
Yes.
That's so cute.
The dogs do when they're happy.
Good. Please, Gaga.
As you notice, Graham, you come in to collect Fern, and you notice Aurora is doing the tippy taps.
Aww.
Alright, Fern, is it just you on third shift, or was somebody else? Kaido is a little indisposed as you notice him just with the a wineskin in his mouth and just slowly squeezing it.
I can see.
Guess it's just me and Aurora.
Aurora goes up to Kaido and just sneezes on him.
Good, he deserves it.
You know what you did.
Alright, Fern, go ahead, roll perception. Only just a flat perception, as no one is around to assist you, really. Although Aurora does stay by your side, but she's not cognizant enough. Okay. Fern, nothing really occurs. You notice the village manages to eventually start stirring. Some of the mushroom people emerge from their little tents and campsites, and they go out into their mushroom fields. You notice them beginning to cultivate gently, beginning to take care of the mushrooms. Go ahead and give me a nature roll.
A few mushroom things in mushroom land.
Yeah, notice they are putting a lot of care into cultivating their mushrooms. Each mushroom is carefully positioned. You are actually able to identify the types of mushrooms as well. You see a number of mushrooms that would be poisonous to humans.
Just kind of.
That was, I assume it was Aurora sneezing.
Like a cannon.
You notice a number of mushrooms that are hallucinogenic, which you would assume is what they made the wine out of. But you do notice that a vast quantity of the mushrooms are just edible without nasty side effects. And you're able to put together the names of the mushrooms that your mentor had taught you. And if I knew more about mushrooms, I'd actually say them, but I don't. But with that, the village mostly comes back to. You actually notice a mushroom person who stalks by. He is taller and leaner. He is wearing bark armor. Looks like from a underground tree that has been kind of tied and put together. He has a longbow as well as a metal sword. One of the actually only bits of metal you've seen in the village. He comes by the group and just the spray of spores upon you, and you can hear the telepathy in your mind again. I'm your guide. Let's go.
Morning to you.
Morning. Or as you call it, eh?
Yeah, we do. Graham will quickly prepare some spells. Let me hit my delicious long rest button. It's been so long since I've had a long rest. Oh my God. My spells. Push the button. Did the thing work? It did.
It works.
Cool. And Graham will quickly cast a. I think we agreed it was dispel magic that would dispel it for or.
Remove curse. Remove curse.
Remove curse.
Yep.
Well, I will do one cast of that.
Okay. Pansathara, the curse is suppressed for the day.
All right, we got one day with the only hijinks we're gonna deal with being our own.
Yeah. All right. I'm Rolar. I'm the guide Big Fungus sent for us. So, where are we going? You going to the surface? I can take you to the surface. You going down further? I can take you to down further.
I think that's the plan. We're gonna go see if we can figure out more about this shaper.
Son of a bitch, you ask me.
Seems to be the consensus.
Heh, yeah. Anyway, I'm the ranger for this village. I range out, I do hunting, bring back what I need to. I take care of any problems. Now, you folks ain't problems, right?
Not planning on it.
Alright, let's go.
This should have gone in there.
Alright, so we're going to be taking a tunnel system. It's going to bring you down, 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 far, far below. You got it? And
Yeah.
we're going to get to a trading outpost. Once you're at the trading outpost, you're on your own. But the outpost itself routinely sends people and carts and whatnot to the next drow village. Well, they call it a city. Biggest village I've ever seen. So we're going to go that way, alright?
All right.
If you see anything interesting down this way, you tell me first, okay?
Got it.
Alright.
happen to know anything about the Shaper while we're figuring out what we're gonna do when we find them?
Makes a bunch of freaky little creatures. I've seen kobolds, I've seen giant spiders, never seen them shoved together into one. That is a new one.
Not a fan.
Take an arrow to the heart. Just as good as the rest of them, though, so ain't got real trouble with it.
I can
But
respect that.
he's been cooking up something freaky down there, is what I've been hearing. He'd make them gray orcs, the little mind-ready orcs, you know?
That's certainly freaky.
Yeah, they're the Archnaeus, they call them. And he's been collecting slaves by the dozens. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Total dust up over that not too long ago.
Yeah, don't know what he does with them, but I'm sure it ain't nothing good. Alright, time's wasting. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
I ain't got no.
Let's go.
I don't got time for some lollygagging and these surface dwellers.
No lollygagging.
So, Rolar takes you to a exit, which would actually be at the northern section of the village. And you follow him for a good 20 minutes down some tunnels before he gets to a fork in the tunnel. He's like, alright, last chance. Right path's gonna take you to the surface. Left path's gonna take you to below. So what's it gonna be? Left or right?
I think we're going below. Any objections?
Final decision, huh?
Part of me is like,
Quest.
I'm just wondering if this is the DM asking, "Are you sure?" 3 times.
No, it's me just wondering, just curious. Also, it fits with Rolar's character. I have plans for either option, to be honest.
Cool. Graham's in favor of going down, down, down.
Phrasing.
Down it is. Let's blow this popsicle stand.
A bunch of fucking Vikings, huh? All right, Valhalla. Who wants blue
I say
potato
let's
chips?
blow the popsicle stand every time we end up the workday.
Yeah. Hey, here's a question, though. I heard that term from the surface dwellers. What's it mean? Popsicle stand.
Well, popsicle is like you take fruit and you mix it with sugar, and you like make a liquid out of it, and then you freeze the liquid, and then you put a stick through it while it's freezing, and then you can just eat the stick of cold, sweet fruit juice.
Horrifying. And you blow it? What?
No, you eat it.
Things like let's leave.
Alright then. Well, it's a fun phrase. I tell you surface dwellers got some good things. Some good things.
Maybe you could make popsicles out of your mushrooms.
Oh God,
Oh yes.
that's amazing.
You raise a good idea there. Big Fungus said you're a rabbit from the Feywild. Said you're next to the Overrealm.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty
About
much
right.
it.
And your shiny Mig there, what'd that be?
This is a wolf. Her name is Aurora.
Don't got a lot of mushrooms on it, that's for sure. Alright, let's
No,
go.
she doesn't.
Ugh. So, Rolar takes you down the path heading deeper, and this is a path that you notice does rather steep go down. The tunnel, you can tell, is not naturally forming after a point where you reach staircases that take you further down. As you're traveling further below, you notice out of the actual walls, you see some, looks like old rooms that have been carved into the walls, that have been dug out and smoothed. Rolar just kind of passes by them, not really paying them much attention. You travel for about an hour this way, with more and more of the rooms showing up, before he stops and goes, alright, we're going to take a quick rest here while I check a few markings. Stay put. Stay.
Okay.
All right.
The guy that's gonna move is intoxicated right now.
Yeah.
We've got him on like a child leash.
No. It's just he's on one of those like front things that you like, or Master Blaster. I don't know.
Who run Mushroom Town?
I don't run Mushroom Town.
Kaido has been just kind of like following along, just nursing one of the. Big Fungus had given you 5 wine skins of the mushroom wine, and Kaido is grabbing one of those and has been nursing it throughout.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the other 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say, should we take that from him?
If
I'm
we
gonna
don't
try
have
to
any
take
left
one
by
of
the end of
three.
this, yeah.
It's the
While he's
best thing that could
incapacitated, I'm
happen.
gonna take the other 4.
I like that we're just motherfucking Kaido while he's not here.
Kaido is thoroughly lost in the sauce.
Yeah, so I relieved him of the wineskins. I'll hang on to these guys. Don't worry. I'm extremely responsible.
Ah, hell.
Fiffle, you now have 4 wineskins of the hallucinogenic mushroom wine. Kaido refuses to relinquish his.
No, I expected that. He's one with that wineskin now. It's part of him.
Nature is healing.
As Rolar takes off down the tunnel by himself, you notice that you are in an area that is more dug out of the various rooms. You can see these carvings in the wall, indicating, well, you're not really sure, but they are like art that has been dug into the wall. There are more rooms that go further. Graham, you would be able to determine this looks to be some sort of older temple, you would think.
I'm gonna make a religion check on it.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, you're in the cave of Culty, get fucked.
Graham, you're having a hard time. You can tell that the religion down here is a much older one, and you're having a difficult time determining who the gods down here would have been.
Is there? While he's doing that, can I look around and see if there's anything that might identify with like this thing?
Yeah, make a perception check.
I click things.
There you go. Otto, you're not really sure. Looking over some of the artwork, it appears to display a group of people that are just kind of kneeling at an altar. A giant spider rests across the altar itself. There is a selection of constellations along the sky, like what you believe represents the sky on this artwork. However, you also notice deeper into the temple, you see a small glow, and you hear some. Sounds like somebody might be kind of talking.
Uh-oh.
Is it echoing, or can I hear like any kind of the words?
What languages do you speak?
Gnomish, Elvish, and Common.
It's a language, but it's none of the ones you speak.
I'll point out that somebody's talking in the temple, like from where I'm standing. If you listen, can anybody understand it?
Graham speaks. Where the hell is it? I don't know what Graham speaks. I have to look into that.
No, right?
I know one of them is like Old Arwellan.
Yeah, this wouldn't be any of those languages. It wouldn't be Old Arwellan, Graham.
Can
local.
Graham compare? I've got that culty holy symbol. Can I kind of look at it and see if there's any similarities?
Make a religion. Yeah, make a religion check on that one.
Yeah, I would have also showed him the things that goes without saying.
Graham,
Maybe any of my languages.
what do you speak, Fern?
Sylvan, Elvish, Dwarvish, and Goblin.
Um, it's similar to Goblin. You would notice a couple words, but you don't believe it's Goblin itself, as it only shares maybe a few of the words. Graham, looking at this, it does not represent Colty in any way, shape, or form. You don't believe it has anything to do with him. If you had to take a guess, maybe an older Elvish god.
Interesting. Hey, Kaido, why don't you ask your fancy sword? Oh, damn it.
You just kind of see Kaido just
T-posing.
dabbing.
My God, he's gone feral. We have to put him down.
While he's out, while Kaido's out doing real life stuff, Graham attunes to his sword. He's so mad.
Graham, it is I, Valor's Edge.
You are far more honorable than this Kaito fellow.
He's kind of a scrub.
He's alright. He does what he needs to.
He's doing his best.
I saw your dog behind you, Ian.
Yeah, he's here. No, Valor's Edge is like, I like a project I can work on.
I can fix him.
Anyway, do I have anything?
Whispering, huh?
I have these. Well, I do have those spybold writings.
See if it matches.
They do not match. The elegant script that is written and or carved into the wall is very dissimilar from the kind of rough writings. The script on the wall is very elegant in that it's like got a lot of curves, curls, very difficult, you would imagine, to actually carve into the wall. The spybold writings, on the other hand, are very sharp-edged letters, you suspect, that are just kind of like painted on with a unpracticed hand.
Does Sathara recognize this language that's being chanted?
That's a good thought.
Sathara?
I guess I'm assuming Fern would have said it sounds like Goblin, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Sathara's just think down here it's probably Undercommon. I know Undercommon. Technically, I think Goblin shares a few words with Undercommon as they interact a lot. We could go see. I mean,
How long has this guy been gone?
a few minutes.
Let's hold out a little while longer. Maybe try to look
How
around
deep
this
into
place
the
a bit more
temple
while
can I
we
see?
wait.
As you are discussing this, the words that are being spoken are getting louder, and the light appears to be growing brighter as it looks like it is approaching you.
So I can see, I think, like 200 feet, was it?
Yep. So looking down the tunnel, you can see that or this like hallway in this temple, looks like it splits at a point into two separate paths, and the light is coming from one of the paths towards you.
Can I tell which path it's coming from?
Yeah, it's coming from the path to the right.
If I move up a little, can I see at any point a figure or figures?
Yep. If you approach, you can see, and the tunnel only goes down like 40 feet. From one of the paths, you see a young elvish woman, you would suspect. She has black hair. She has like the long pointed ears. Tall, very graceful, wearing very fine clothing. It looks like it's a... Well, you can't tell the color. Actually, no, she has a light. She is holding a small torch. So you can tell she is wearing... It is a fine red... sorry, my dog just poked me. It's a fine red silk. It is lined with, it looks to be kind of gold edged. There's a thick fur around the collar, around her neck. The cuffs are lined with fur. She is wearing a number of jewels, a fine gold necklace studded with jewels on her fingers. She's very richly dressed. She is reading from looks like a book or a scroll you're having a hard time seeing from that distance. And she seems kind of absorbed in it.
Are we sure? Am I sure this is a person and not an apparition?
Make a perception check. She looks solid, you think? Maybe?
Can I divine sense this?
Yeah, go ahead. Just give me a divine sense kick, please.
There we go.
Alright, I'm just trying to determine what you can Celestial Fiend or Undead. Let me just check some notes of mine. Okay. Despite looking like an elven woman, this is actually a fiend.
Ooh.
A fiend, you say?
I will relay this to everybody nearby.
Well,
The woman approaches you
do we want to hide?
in a very kind, very well-spoken voice in common. Greetings, friends. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Anna Kind. It is lovely to make your acquaintance. How may I be of service to you today?
I reckon we're good.
I am a information broker, as it were. My knowledge is next to none. If you have any information that you wish to ask me, please go ahead, and we can discuss our price. Anything at all. Trust me, I have all sorts of knowledge that I would be quite happy to give you. I'm also an expert messenger, diplomat. Come now, friends, you look like you've seen a ghost.
I'm gonna insight. Damn it.
It's hard to tell.
I'll insight that too, because I'm just like, I'm trying to gauge the situation here.
I'm trying not to play the
I'm
race
also
card.
cautious.
With the guidance cast, you would she would see you cast guidance to get the insight on her and say, why do I feel like you maybe know a bit more than you're letting on? Would I be correct in that regard?
Could be. Does it make a difference?
One second while I just do a little dice roll, and roll 20 decides it wants to take 2,000 years. You've caught on to the fact that I'm a fiend, haven't you? You're clever. I like it. I really like it. That's good. Not a lot of people get that right away, but you did. I'm actually impressed.
So, what's your real game?
I told you. Information.
That cuts both ways, though, doesn't it?
True. And, of course, there's always a price to pay, but what it is negotiable.
And what do your prices usually come by?
Information. I give you information, you give me information. Any of sorts that is useful to me and unknown is valuable and precious. I deal with, or magic items if you have any. I can always trade for those. And I have all sorts of information you might need. For example, she kind of looks over at you, Otto, studies you for a bit.
I'm not
Kinda-
being very flat-faced. Like, deadpan.
Kind of just circles around, looking you up and over. You want to find a way to get to the lower planes so you can rescue a child? No. Not a child. Mother, sister, wife. Please let me know when I'm getting close.
Yeah.
Cousin, best friend. Well, the point is, you wish to get down to the lower planes because someone you love is down there, right? Tell me how on the money I am, please.
I mean, you are on the money, but that's not an awful big secret.
No,
It's-
but I could help you get down there, or more precisely, get you the information to get down there, if that's what you're interested in.
So what kind of price would be paid? Give me an average example, would you?
Well, do you know any secrets that I don't know that are very, very useful?
There's an elemental plane of geese, and
I'm
Those should be
sorry.
open from
Out of
this
character
side.
Uh,
laugh.
Elemental plane of geese? That's always a fun one, but I'm aware of that one. Those people in the Mushroom Village have been complaining about it for 2-3 days now.
well, that's
I just like how you just like nonchalantly brought that up.
yep.
I take magic items. If you're interested. I've been doing a little bit
Oh.
of work down here, you see.
How interested are you in the overworld, being in the underworld?
Oh, I mean, I'm down here for a little bit of business. I've been up there a bit. Oh, well, 300-400 years cumulative.
Mm.
So I know a little bit of information there.
What do you?
I could also maybe favors. I love trading favors.
Well, we've already got a bit of a debt to a powerful being on the other side. So
Let me think. Let me take a look. And she kind of onces you over, Graham. You know, the candle gave it away. Brother Bones.
true enough.
He's a fun fella. How many favors do you owe him?
Now we got one left, if I remember right.
That's correct.
And you know the identity of the tanner before he was taken down? Did you know he was taken down?
I mean, let's see here. Let me just take a little bit of a peeky peek. Let's see. Tanner. Are you really gonna... Are you interested? Are you testing me?
I'm seeing if trading info for info is a price I'm willing to pay.
A test. I see how it is. Tormund Varvik, as was nicknamed in the city of Vaxval for his actions as the serial killer the Tanner. I believe he received that name because he would skin his victims. Not alive, sadly, but c'est la vie, as she says in some unknown language.
My God, she is evil. So, casual telepathy, huh?
I have my sources. I could perhaps investigate the contents of your mind if I strictly desired to, but no, collecting information and selling it is my business. Consider that one a freebie for our future business together.
So, what would be a worthwhile trade for some information on what's he called? The Changer?
The Shaper?
The Shaper.
Ooh, do you have any information on him? I'm actually looking for a little bit on him right now. One of a few different things I'm investigating. However, if you can pay the price, I can find out.
What kind of price would we be talking? I don't generally make blind agreements with fiends, no offense.
Oh, none taken. it's quite a wise idea not to. Well, let me see. I would prefer information, uh, or a magic item, or a favor I can collect at a later time.
Not that one. Not that one.
Yeah, no, that one gives you the problems.
I suppose. I mean, it appeals to my sensibilities, but no, we're here for you. You are the customer, and I am nothing if not a. Well, you probably don't consider me trustworthy, but please understand that when I make a deal with you, I will uphold my end of the bargain. So, some
Graham's gonna
information.
take out the hurdy-gurdy and the needle and thread from the demonic party. These happen to feel familiar in any way?
They're very lovely. They're not magic, of course, but
Yeah.
magic adjacent. Nothing I'm strictly interested in, unfortunately, for our business proposition.
Well done.
See, I appreciate being able to walk away from a deal happy with it, and I would love it if you were to walk away with a deal happy with it as well. Me being a fiend, I assure you, well, I imagine it would cause some discomfort. Doesn't need to be an issue for us. We can always walk away from this happy with the end results, can we not?
It depends. Can I make another insight check?
Go ahead.
Better.
It's difficult to get a read on this person, but you suspect that she is interested in making a deal, although doesn't really seem to care if how happy you are with the end result.
That sounds about right.
The price being asked when she did mention it does seem to be on point, though. Information, magic items, or favor.
Alright. Well, damn, I don't have that candle anymore. I could get. Here's an ever-burning candle. Oh, damn.
Oh.
I don't think I have it anymore because it got lost in the antlion den or whatever.
Oh,
Think she takes some mushroom wine?
Oh, I have no need of sustenance. That.
Well, it's not exactly sustenance, says Biffle. Per se.
As it's
He
an
winks.
amusing distraction. I could trade it for someone for a prank, but I'm not really here for a prank. Let me break this down for you in a way that you, Fiffle, Tulip Bottom, might be able to understand. What can I get out of this? Is what I care about.
A good time?
No, not particularly. I mean, I have a good time where I go. I have no need for that. I can get you the information you
Okay.
want or need, but you simply need to
How
work
about
with
this?
me.
Biffle offers a bloody tooth. I'm just
Your
going
own?
through the random shit in my inventory here.
Fascinating. I don't really need a bloody tooth, however.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
The
I would
woman who
offer
has
goblin
everything.
hat for not goblin head, but that's precious to me. I'm keeping it.
I would do the same. Your disjointed party member there, he wields a rather powerful magic sword. I could provide some information on behalf of
We
him.
trade Kaido's sword while he's away.
Or trade 4 info on the sword, but
We could trade her.
I would
Kaido.
definitely give you
And the
information.
No.
Oh yes, I'll tell you all about the sword. If I can have the sword.
no go.
You just take the owner.
Oh, I mean, I assume.
He
I
comes
mean,
with the sword. That's the thing. So
Package deal.
No, the sword stays. You can just take Kaido.
I
Poor Robbie.
So,
He's gonna watch the VOD and he's gonna be like, "Fuck you guys."
have no real need for him. I mean, he certainly knows a few spells, but nothing I
How do you
have need of him.
How do you feel about uniquely shitty cursed items?
That might be useful. May I see the item in question to evaluate it?
Who was holding on to the coin?
You know, I guess we
Might
can
have
look at Safar to brandish the item, or do you have it?
Yeah, whoever's got it. I know we've got it. We just gotta hold it out. At
I
least
don't, and I don't believe you threw it away, right?
No, we didn't,
All right.
because that wouldn't solve anything.
Fascinating. As the one person with the coin takes it out. Interesting. Well, it's certainly a unique item. Kind of looks at it, kind of bites a little bit. Cursed by the High Priest of Kulti, it looks like. Inflicts curses upon those who own it for a lifetime of terrible, terrible luck. Perfectly lovely cursed item just for me, with one minor exception that the curse is already on a living person.
Yep. So we're looking to alleviate that curse. After which,
And you want information on how to alleviate it. I have that.
That's a possibility. We could also maybe trade it.
Yes, well, I take the coin, and I tell you how to get rid of the curse, and then the curse works for me, right?
Thing about this curse is it doesn't hit the person themselves alone. It's everyone around them.
Ooh, interesting. Well, as interesting as that is, it doesn't strictly help me out right now. I mean, I can easily wait for the person who has the curse to die and then use it, but I would prefer to have that work a little bit sooner for the kind of information you're looking for. Although you really haven't told me what information you're looking for exactly, beyond a couple of select things. I would say, find what you're interested in, tell me, and then we'll agree upon a price.
As long as the deal can be refused and the price is stated beforehand.
I am a business person. If you
know.
don't like my price, no worries. I will find somebody who does. So, what will it be? And I should mention, when I say that beyond giving information, I'm also a diplomat. I can certainly resolve certain issues on the surface for you. Certain issues revolving around, let's say, I don't know, a Count of Drindir who may be a little too much trouble, perhaps? She gives a rather wide smile at that one. What do you say?
Tempting, but I reckon that one's best sorted out between him, the Duke, and ourselves.
But fair enough. I mean, if you don't want any information, or if you want to think about it, go ahead. I am down here doing business, and business is good. So, I will certainly be around if you need to talk further.
How do we contact you if you're not around, though? Or do you just know?
Oh, I mean, information gets back to me. Just look for Miss Anna Kind. Or you could say, look for just say you need an information broker, and I'll find my way towards you. Might not be right away, of course. Or, are you familiar with the summoning of fiends?
Usually unsummoning them, but I know the particulars, yeah.
Put a little bit of the old fiend summoning down, and I could be there lickety-split. What do you think?
Something to think about. Maybe for a while.
Well, I can tell you folks have some things you want to know, and if I don't have the information, I can find it out if you're willing to pay the price, so keep that in mind. And once again, I have to commend you on actually being able to identify me right off the bat. That one I'm impressed with. That was a good one.
We have our moments.
Occasionally, it's crossblades. Well,
yeah, I figured you knew that.
Oh, the necklace on you gave you away. Sorry, that one wasn't that difficult.
Guess that's our freebie. We'll keep you in mind and figure out what we're willing to buy and what we're willing to sell.
Great, wonderful, lovely to hear. Now, I should warn you, if you are looking for me, I might not look just like I do right now. I might have a different name as you know me. So if I don't appear as I do now, don't worry about it. It's just all part of the business opportunities. I tell you, when doing business in this material plane, it's so much more helpful looking like a local. Of course, I guess it's the same where I come from, too, so what am I complaining about? She gives another smile at that one. Well, I hope you folks don't die down in the tunnels here.
Funny, us too.
I mean, these places have been the grave for... well, I guess I can't really say, as you haven't paid me. Well, toodaloo, everyone. I will see you all eventually, I imagine. Well, I'm going to finish doing a little work here, but it was a pleasure to make each and every one of your acquaintance. And if you do want me to find out anything, please just let me know.
Will do.
I love that confidence in your voice, Graham. Wonderful. With that, with no need of the torch anymore, she puts it out, and then you just auto, and anybody who can see in the dark sees her kind of wandering back into the temple she originally came from. At this point,
Does
Rolar...
the chanting or the speaking start again?
It does not, no. It looks like she probably only put that on as a facade.
Makes sense.
You hear the voice of Rolar. Where are you at? Come on.
Over here.
Right
Jump,
here,
jump, let's go. Ugh. Well, it didn't leave too far away, so that's always good. Alright, found the trail. Gotta make sure we put markings on the tunnels, make sure no one's, trying to be any sneaky, put any ambushes down. So I was checking those.
How long do you think, can we tell how long he's been gone before she disappeared and he reappeared?
It's probably gone a good 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Alright, let's go.
We go.
With this, he brings you down. You continue down. Oh, yeah, he doesn't really ask any questions about what you were doing while he was gone. So he just kind of silently brings you down the rest of the way. You travel down another 2 hours before eventually arriving at a rather large tunnel. It goes up probably a good 50 feet, and you can see that it's very wide. There are stone columns every so often, you would put it to about 200 feet, and the columns themselves are large, probably at least a good 10 feet on each side, forming a square. And on the ground, you can see that there are a number of track marks, footprints, and is a small stone building that has, you don't really see anybody there, but there are some words written in, as Rolar points out to you, Undercommon. Alright. Here we are, trading post. If you head down that tunnel there, that's going to take you to Drow City. Now you can do one of two things. You can go yourself. There's a straight shot there. Or you can wait for a trader to come by.
No time like the present.
Alright. Well, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Straightforward enough, folk.
He turns and heads back the way he came. But you find yourselves, at a trading post that doesn't look like anyone's currently manning it. And I think we will end it here and pick it up next week.
Nice. Lots of roleplay.
Yay. That was a good episode.
I right away had a feeling that something was up with her. That's why I did that, because I was like, that's why my questions were leading to that.